Hello there, and welcome to another Midweek Memo. This last weekend, we were looking at Psalm 46. It was the first weekend in this new phase of lockdown, and I thought these opening words were just exactly what we needed to hear. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Psalm 46 goes on to explore how we take that thing that is already true and make it our own. And we looked at it briefly, but I'd love to come back to this lovely little bit at the end, verse 10. It's a favorite verse of many. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. All of us in this difficult time, we need extra courage, don't we? But where does our courage come from? Well, different people point us in different directions. For some, the courage is to be found in ourselves. Perhaps these words by William Ernest Henley are familiar to you. He said in his poem Invictus, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." The idea was, look inside yourself, you'll find the strength there. And you hear that sometimes today, even amongst the celebrities, and you hear them say, it's all about believing in yourself. Self-belief is the way forward. Well, the Christian finds strength and finds courage, but finds it elsewhere. The psalmist says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still, first of all. Stop. You know, when things are tough, often the first thing to do is get busy, do more. We need to stop. But not just stop. He says, look up. Know that I am God. Look up from all the pressures and the anxiety, great though it is, and recognize, actually, there is a God out there. That my story is just a small part of his much bigger story. Stop, look up, and see the difference. Be still and know that I am God. One of the great answers, I think, for us in our trouble, in our anxiety, in the many challenges that we're posed right now, but even in any other time as well, is to realize that we are not God. Ultimately, the control of events doesn't lie with us. Now, that might seem a terrifying, scary prospect. But when we know actually that there is one who is God, he is God, the God who created all the heavens and all the earth, and he really does hold our times in his hand. Well, at that moment, we can take courage. Be still and know that I am God. As we go on in this week, let me encourage you, as I suggested at the weekend, to make time to be still like that, to drop for a moment the busyness of the day and focus again on the Lord, to know that he is there. The archbishops gave us a call to prayer for this whole month of November. What a great way of using our second lockdown. Let me encourage you to follow their suggestion, perhaps at 6 p.m., to just take a moment aside to be praying for our nation. Alongside that, this week is a special week in the church calendar. It's the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church. We'll be touching on that this Sunday. A great opportunity to pray for our persecuted brothers and sisters who, although we do have it tricky at times, they really are suffering for their faith and need our prayers. And let me encourage you also on this occasion to make the most of what's coming up this weekend. At 7 p.m., we're going to be doing our last prayer at the center of this year, and that's going to be on Zoom. A great opportunity for us to gather together and pray. A couple more things to say. Number one, we've sent out a survey, I mentioned it at the weekend, to hear a bit more from you about how we can continue to serve you and help you to be connected to the Lord, connected to one another, and connected out into our community at this time. If you have received that, please do take the time and respond. One of the challenges right now is that because we're not seeing one another, it's hard to know exactly what will be of use and service to you. Secondly, kind of coming out of that already, we've got a new initiative that I think will help us to enhance that connection, even though we're apart. This weekend, we're going to beginning a little Zoom coffee meeting after the end of our morning live stream. So there's a chance to interact with each other after enjoying the service together. Do look out for the sign-up details for that. And finally, let me say that this weekend, we're going to be having a little bit of a focus on giving and finance. You're going to be receiving a letter this week explaining our current position and also asking each of you to continue into your support, or indeed to begin your support in this vital ministry. And I think this is a great opportunity for me to say a huge thank you. Thank you for your generosity over this past year in supporting the ministry here. It's fantastic what we've been able to do. It's particularly striking in this year what the different generosity, the resources that we've got in this church have enabled us to do in terms of reaching people with the good news of Christ at a difficult time. And I'm so grateful, I know many others are, appreciative for all that that has meant for the ministry here. And let's be praying that the Lord will give us that same generosity and that same wealth of resources, and that we may steward it well in the coming year, even through these uncertain times. Looking forward to seeing you soon.